Big tonight. The Guyana government on Tuesday accused Venezuela of systematically trying to undermine its territorial integrity. In an official statement in Georgetown, the government said it has taken what it's called careful note of the issuance by the National Electoral Council in Venezuela of 5 questions to be asked in the national referendum scheduled for December 3. Guyana said Venezuela is brazenly seeking the approval of the creation of a new Venezuelan state consisting of Guyana's Essequibo region, which would be incorporated into the national territory of Venezuela, and the granting of Venezuelan citizenship to the population. Georgetown said this amounted to nothing less than the annexation of Guyana's territory in violation of the rules of the UN Charter, the OAS Charter, and the general international law. Guyana said in its Tuesday statement that the region and international community should take note of the actions by Caracas, which threaten the peace and security of the region. Kenya's plans to lead a multinational international force to Haiti to restore peace and security suffered another setback Tuesday after the High Court extended a temporary order barring the government from deploying hundreds of police officers to Haiti. The original order expired Tuesday. Former presidential candidate Ikuru Akot, who brought the petition against the deployment of Kenyan troops, says the case will be continued on November 9th. The United Nations Security Council had approved a resolution drafted by the United States and Ecuador authorizing the force to be deployed for 1 year with a review after 9 months. Kenya's National Assembly has yet to schedule a debate on the motion to deploy the contingent, which is expected to be made up of 1,000 police officers. Several CARICOM countries have already indicated a willingness to participate in the initiative. Growing gang violence in Haiti is devastating the lives of its people, with major crimes rising to a new high, the UN Special Envoy for the conflict-racked Caribbean nation says. Maria Isabel Salvador told the UN Security Council that every day sees gangs engaging in killings, sexual violence, including collective rapes and mutilation and kidnapping. She pointed to last week's incident in which gang members dressed as police officers kidnapped the Secretary General of the High Transitional Council, which is responsible for ensuring that the long-delayed elections are held. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness says geopolitical tensions in other regions have negatively affected the Jamaican economy and heightened frustration among voters. Speaking in an interview with the US-based news network Bloomberg TV, Mr. Holness explained that Jamaica, like any other country, has been affected by events in other territories, such as the Ukraine-Russia war.
The impact is significant, primarily in cost of living and inflation. And I suspect, like many other countries around the world, it has led to the frustration of the electorate, even disillusionment.
He added that even as Jamaica confronts these challenges, its economic performance continues to improve, characterizing it as counterintuitive and running counter to what is happening in the rest of the world.
We immediately after the pandemic, our debt rose, but then we managed to bring it back down. Our inflation went up to as high as 11%. I'm happy to say that the last outturn, we're at 5.8. We're within our target band. And for me, the most impressive figure is that our unemployment rate is now at 4.5%. Now, relative to global unemployment rates in other economies, 4.5% may not sound as low as it should be, but relative to what it was, 7 as high as 15% times gone by, at 4.5%, we're almost at full employment.
Former Grenada Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell said in the island's parliament Tuesday that the wars in Ukraine and the Palestinian territory of Gaza will have what he called major impact on the region. He was speaking in the context of the increasing pressures being brought on many countries in the region with their citizenship by investment program. Dr. Mitchell said major industrial nations are eager to pump billions into what they view as their national security interest, while ignoring the interest and challenges of smaller nations. He spoke directly about the ongoing conflict in the Gaza Strip.
It worries me, but as a citizen, I watch. Sometimes these days, I don't even want to watch television because I can't bear to see little children being blown apart, women and children being blown apart by whatever sides of the fence. It's just fundamentally against our basic human spirit.
This is Primetime Caribbean. We'll be right back.